Hi everyone, it's Amber from The Sensible Mama. Today I'm going to be doing something a little different. This is a highly requested video that I'm just now getting around to doing, but Christmas is coming up soon-ish, and I know people are starting to put together their Christmas lists for their kiddos, and we've had a lot of requests to kind of show what some of the fat brain toys that we carry at The Sensible Mama look like, how they work, what they do, and things like that. So grab a snack. This is going to be a super informal video. I'm just going to show you each one of these toys, talk about the appropriate age level for each one, and kind of help you get an idea of which ones might be great for you for Christmas. So let's dive right in. Before I get started, just know that all of these things are available at thesensiblemama.com right now and ready to ship. We are always finding new things, new toys, new puzzles, and things like that at the store. So make sure you're always checking back because these are not going to be the only things that we have. I've just grabbed a few of them because these are the ones that we have the most questions about. But we do have a little tile on the website that is just for toys, and it's got all the toys and puzzles that we have at The Sensible Mama. It will be linked down in the description box below. Okay, so the first one I'm going to share with you is the Squiggs. This comes in like the starter set and the 2.0 set. These are a really fun little toy for kids of all ages. This is something that even I enjoy playing with my kids with. It says it is rated for ages 3 and up. I'm guessing that is because of the size of some of these pieces, but the way that I personally look at the age ratings on toys is that's the age at which I would feel comfortable with my child playing with it semi-alone, meaning I'm not sitting right there with my kids playing with it with them. But I do think that toys like this you can use with younger kids if you're there engaging with them so you can make sure that they don't do anything unsafe with it. The cool thing about these toys is they're really good for imaginative play because kids are able to just create whatever they want to. Every single piece has a different color and shape and different suction points on it so that these can suction to each other and then also suction to surfaces. So whether that's the bathtub or the refrigerator or a window, your kids can just sit and create really cool things. So see, we're creating a little something here. And sometimes my kids will create something and love it and they won't stick it to surfaces. They'll carry it around with them and use it like a little toy or something. They get a lot of mileage out of this, especially in the bathtub. And I think that that's one of the cool things about Fat Brain Toys is all of their stuff is able to go in the bathtub without the potential of molding and water getting stuck inside of there. They can also be cleaned in the dishwasher, which is great. Just toss them in there, clean them with your dishes or with a whole batch of toys if you want to. But again, this is just one of those toys that like no kid dislikes these. You know how sometimes you get a toy that it's hit and miss, like some kids really love them and some kids don't. The Squiggs, whether it's the 2.0 or the 1.0, and the difference really is just the shapes of the Squiggs. Kids love them. The reason why you might want to get, like if you already have the starter set and then you want to get the 2.0 or something like that, is that there are different shapes in each one. So if your kids are starting to get like kind of bored with the standard starter set of Squiggs and they need something to change it up, the 2.0 kind of adds to that and gives them more creative things to create. Okay, it is much later in the day now. My camera battery died, so here we are. All right, the next thing that I wanted to show you guys today is the Whimsel. This is actually new to The Sensible Mama. It looks like this. I am not really sure why they have put like a 6-month and I'm not really sure why they put like a 6-month and up sort of disclaimer on this one. None of the pieces come off. It's all really well constructed. So, I mean, developmentally, I think a kid who is younger than 6 months could play with this, but the recommendation is 6 months and up. And this is just one of those things that I feel this way about a lot of the Fat Brain toy stuff. Actually, like I would enjoy playing with this one. I'm leaving this one in the packaging, but of course this does come off, so this isn't part of the toy. But it's just got a whole bunch of little moving parts in it that baby can play with and interact with. Each little piece is really bright and colorful, has its own texture, and all of the pieces just move about in a really interesting way, almost like a molecule or something. I don't know, it's just got a really cool vibe to it, and it's something that's a really simple toy. It's still a small enough size where it could fit inside of a diaper bag if you're carrying a bigger diaper bag, and it's super cute. I have one at home for Abby, and even at 2.5 years old, she loves hers too. This one is called the Dimple Duo, and in my opinion, this is one of the coolest, and also one of the most simple. So this is just a little board that helps children learn colors and shapes, and it even has Braille on it, which is really cool. So on one side, you've got all the color names matched with the color, and you have Braille here with each one. Don't know how well you can see that, but it's right here. And then on the other side, we've got the colors with the shape names, and each little piece has the shape raised up, like that. And there's Braille on the front of this too. Now, what is so cool about this toy is if you have a child who is looking for sensory toys, you know, things to kind of just soothe them and to do some sensory work with, the Dimple Duo is actually really great for that. Each one of these pieces pops in and out. So, like that. And it's a very satisfying pop. It's double layered, so there's actually two little pieces here that pop in and out. So it's really nice because it's got that really, really awesome tactile feel that you want children to have while they're doing sensory play. It's nice and small. It fits in quite a few pouches. It can slip inside of little like slip pockets inside of your diaper bags. Just a really, really great toy all around. In fact, I had a customer who was buying these because she worked in a nursing home and she was giving this to her elderly patients to work with and engage with. And she said they loved it, which I thought was very interesting. Here's another one that's for the littles. This one is for 6 months and up as well, but you could use it for younger. It's pretty much just a rattle. It does come in two colors. This is orange and there's another one that comes in teal. Listen to how these ring. Doesn't that sound so pretty? And each side has a suction on either end, so you can actually suction it to the countertop or to the top of their high chair. In the bathtub, you can suction it as well, and that way it stays in place and they can kind of push it around, make it make noises. This and the teal one were both very, very integral to my children's playtime when they were really young, and the sound is just so pretty. So that's the Pip Squiggs loops. There's really not a lot to like show in terms of how it's used, but you do have these cute rings that they can teeth on, they can bite down on. It gives that nice satisfying feel. And again, this is also something that can be washed in the dishwasher, which is great. Here's another one that is for 6 months and up, and these are called the sensory rollers. And I really wanted to make sure that I show this because we do get a lot of inquiries from customers saying like, I want a really cool sensory toy for my little one. And this is one of my favorites. So when you buy the sensory rollers, you get 3 balls. And the first thing that I noticed about these right away was they're very weighty. They have a nice weight to them. They just feel very good in your hand. They're not so heavy that a 6-month-old couldn't play with them, but they even for an adult, they feel pretty heavy. Each one makes its own chime. And they each have different textures on them so that kids can like really get in there with their fingers and explore. Just overall, it provides a really, really nice sensory feel to it. But what I think is the coolest thing about these is that these are great for children who are starting to learn how to crawl. What I liked to do with Abby with these when she was exploring, you know, she was having tummy time, I was trying to get her to start scooting a little bit on her belly. I would put these out in front of her and she would naturally want to reach toward them because I could shake them, they make a pretty sound, they're bright and colorful, and she would reach, and little by little I would kind of push them away from her and she would work to try to get to them. So it was a great thing for her to do during tummy time. It was a great thing to help encourage her to kind of move and explore. And then as she started crawling but was still like a little reluctant about it, I would push them out away from her and she would crawl after them. It was just a really, really great toy for her at that age. But to be real with you, I have my own set of these just because sometimes when I'm stressed, I will just sit and just like, especially the blue one, it's my favorite because of these little pieces. Like I'll just sit and do this and listen to that pretty chime to help me with anxiety or stress. It helps me anyway. Okay, I have 2 more to show you, and these are the ones that I'm actually here for today because these are the ones that I think you kind of need to see in motion in order to understand what they do. This is the umbi ball, and I just think it is the coolest, and the reason why is that both my 4.5 and my 2.5-year-old love this, and they both get sort of different things out of it. I'm going to open it up in a second, but it's basically, do you know what Russian dolls are when it's like the little smaller dolls inside of bigger dolls and you stack them up? That's what this is. Now, Roman likes to play with this because he likes to race. He tries to do it as fast as he can. For Abby, this is more of an intellectual exercise, trying to figure out how it works because every one of these balls are connected to each other, which means A, you can't lose any pieces, and in my household, that's a really big deal. But B, they don't just naturally come together the way that you would expect them to since they're all attached. So it ends up being a little bit more like a puzzle. Here's what it looks like when you undo the whole thing, and as you can see, it's all attached by this blue string. By the way, this one says on the box that it is recommended for 6 months and up. I probably wouldn't give this to a 6-month-old. Abby is 2.5, and she can get very frustrated with this. So take that as you will, but I think someone a little bit older than 6 months needs this. Basically, all they do is they just start putting these back together so that each ball goes inside of the next. But there's a little bit of turning and manipulation that you have to do in order to get them to go together. And that's the part that Abby struggles with, like really trying to figure that out. But once you get them all together, it turns into this really neat little ball. And again, like I said, to do the puzzle again, you just open each piece like so, and you can start over. So it's a really cute little concept, and again, something that Abby likes to use to work on learning and sort of problem solving, which I'm always gonna love toys like that. The last one that I wanna show you is called the Spin Again, and this is something that I do definitely want to demonstrate for you today because it's not totally obvious what this does when you just see it in the packaging or a picture on the website. I love the packaging on this because it literally just splits in half and the whole thing comes out. So there is this and the mini spinny, which I don't think I brought into my office. I'll pop a picture of it right here. But basically the mini spinny is a smaller version of this and all of the pieces stay connected so you can't lose pieces. It's better for the littler kids. The Spin Again is made for kids 12 years old and up, and I would say that's probably pretty accurate. But here's what's cool about this. Let me just start with one piece. Every piece goes up and down on this little stick, like that. And it stands on a base that is actually removable, which I have a love-hate relationship with that. Because one thing you should know if you buy this is if you pick this up by the stick, all of these little discs are going to come off. So sometimes that can be frustrating when you're trying to move this from room to room. However, one thing that I really like about it is when you want to play this again, you don't have to sit here and try to like get every disc to come up to the top of the stick. You can just pull this off and then all the pieces come off, like so. And then they go everywhere. So let me show you how actually to play with this. So you start with the base and you just add disc by disc. This may seem boring to our adult minds, but I'm here to tell you, my kids will sit and play with this forever. And I'm gonna tell you what, Tiffany, who works here, took this home for her little kids as well. She has an 8-month-old and a son who's about the same age as Roman, and she said the same, like they just sit and will play with this forever. So it's a fun little thing. It teaches them about how motion works. And there's what it looks like when it's all finished. So it's just a really cool, bright little toy, and I think you can say this about all of Fat Brain toys, it's remarkably simple, and that's what makes it special. I think sometimes we feel like we need these really ornate, extravagant toys that make noises and, you know, do all of these special things, when in reality, kids are just as excited about something as simple as this as they are that stuff. So I think that's all I wanted to show you today. I hope that this helped you get kind of a better idea of how some of these toys actually work. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments section. I'll be sure to come answer you. And again, if you want to check any of these out, they are available right now at thesensiblemama.com. Love ya, mean it always, mwah, and I'll see you in the next one.